go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback whack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Can't hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 hit him, listen. This Eagles talk, this talk Eagles. Philly bleed green, it's from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the Dark Child. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur game, baby, let's get it on.
What's going on, Eagles family? Welcome to Eagles Talk by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. As you can see right now, I'm solo dolo by myself. Just for the meantime, it's holiday season. Dark Knight will be on in a few minutes. Nichelle had to take care of some family stuff, and I'm here because you know I'm fired up just a tad bit because it's Dallas week. You know what that means.
It sucks! Dallas sucks! Dallas sucks! Dallas sucks! Dallas sucks! Dallas sucks!
True indeed, they do suck. Regardless of what happens today, with the news that came out today, regardless of that news, they still suck. I almost choked on myself because I knew they suck. Let me get to some comments. Again, welcome to Eagles Talk. I'm your boy Pat. Dark Knight will be on shortly. So I'm gonna need y'all to help me out a little bit today. First person in the room, Tony Barron, yo Bird fan. What's going on, attorney? Richard Boulaton said happy holidays to my Eagles family. John Reyes, see you this Saturday. Okay, my text Philadelphia Eagles this Saturday. Jeremiah Andrews, what up, family? Pamela Jones, hello, Eagles fam. Hey man, I'm ready to go. Listen, I don't know how hype you guys are, even with the news that came out today about the quarterback position, which we will get into. Also, we will recap the game we played against the Chicago Bears in just a moment. But I don't know how you feel about it, but I know how I feel about it. And for what Dark Knight was saying during the week, he's kind of fired up about it, just a tad bit. But nevertheless, let's get into this show.
You're now listening to the
So you watching the Eagles Talk, a very unique Eagles platform where we talk about our Eagles 24/7, 365. But we do so in a relaxed atmosphere where we consume drinks. So Dante is taking a sabbatical. He is holding on for another 60 days. I am not. I'm drinking a Jameson Irish whiskey. Let me know what you're drinking out there. Please get your drinks and drink responsible. And let's take a toast to our Philadelphia Eagles for the victory that we had this weekend. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. So before I recap the Bears versus the Eagles game from last weekend, the news came out today about Jalen Hurts being officially ruled out for this game. Gardner Minshew will be as the official starter, and Ian Book will be the backup going into this game against the Dallas Cowgirls. My feelings about this: our defense is sufficient enough to make sure that we can keep the game close. Our offense have to do some offensive things. We have to run the ball and be dominant with that. And Gardner needs to have that what's that? The put that mustache on and do one for his old ball coach that passed away. You gotta dig deep down inside and say, you know what? All I need to do is complete 7 out of 9 passes and give the ball to Miles Sanders, and it should be a successful game. Here he comes. My man, the Dark Knight is here. What up, Dark Knight?
Yo, what's up, fam?
What's going on?
As y'all know, I know you went over it, but we're gonna have to go in the battle with Gardner Minshew, and I still think we can beat him.
Yeah, I do too, man.
That's the key, though.
It's the team.
I think we can beat him. But with Jalen, I know they can beat him.
Oh, definitely.
But we can beat him with Minshew. I think we can beat him with Minshew.
Definitely, it's going to be a tough task. But I think our defense is going to step up. I think the offense is going to step up. Offensive line, they're going to say, you know what, Jalen is the system. You're going to see a whole different type of offense to, more or less running the ball with the actual traditional running backs and short passes, maybe some screen passes to Dallas Goddard. I don't think we're going to challenge anything deep downfield, even though they said they may. I don't think we're going to do too much deep downfield. Because it was just the connection that Jalen had with AJ and Devontae that I really don't think my Gardner Minshew has at this particular second. But I'm more or less putting this game on our defense, Dark Knight.
I agree with that. I definitely agree. The defense is, because the way Dak's been playing, he's been a turnover machine, and we're a turnover machine. You know what I mean? Those two don't mix. You can't have a turnover machine on offense, and then we come in with the most turnovers. It's not a recipe for success for Dallas, the way I see it. We will win with Gardner Minshew. No big deal. We're going to show them that you don't use your backup as a freaking excuse like they did last time. When they came in here, they were high on Rush, and Rush was this, and he should replace Dak, and then we beat him down. Yeah, and they used that. Well, we had our backup. Well, guess what? We're not using that excuse. We coming there with our backup, and we coming in there to whip ass, and we coming in there with the whip ass and give out bubble gum, and we all out of bubble gum. So we just giving out ass whippings on Saturday. That's all we doing.
Yeah, we definitely need to go and put some smack down on him. Yes, I'm not sleeping on Minshew whatsoever. I think he's very capable of leading this offense to a victory, especially against an opponent as the Dallas Cowgirls. It's going to be a tough game, but it's time for our defense to show up in a big form. I mean, like sacks, interceptions, this embarrassment. They need to embarrass this Dallas Cowgirls offense to make them realize they're not even close to the cream of the crop. You showed it, right? They put the Philadelphia Eagles in the football power index, right? There's at number 5.
I don't know.
You have a 12-1 team at number 5.
I need those I need the calculators that they're using to determine these analytics on Dallas having a better chance, and we come in at number 5 on the index. I need that calculator for my taxes. I need that type of calculator that's going to come out in my favor like that when I punch the numbers in on my taxes. I don't know what calculator they're using, but they need to get a new one, because we'll show them that. I'm a man of few words. I want to show you. I'll show you better than I can tell you. So we're going to show them better than we can tell them on Saturday who the best team is, and we're going to do it with our backup. Now, the one thing that kind of backfires is we went off on what's my man name? Parsons. We went off on Micah Parsons when he said, well, is it Jalen or is it the system and the team? And if we, whip their ass with Gardner Minshew, it's going to kind of give some credence to that statement. But
Dark Knight,
I don't care at this point.
Is the system. That's his nickname. Sometimes nicknames are born out of mistakes, out of situations that are given. You don't create your own nickname. Nicknames are given to you. And right now, we understand that Jalen Hurts makes his team 10 times more lethal than any other team besides the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL, right? At the quarterback position. So when you take him out the equation, it's not going to seem the same. They can still play at a high level. It won't seem as easy. They might do it as hard as it might be a harder game for them to pull it out. Where they have to rush the ball 35 times. But I'm fully confident in Gardner Minshew being able to throw some nice dart passes, some short passes, some screens, and be efficient. You don't have to go out there and win the game. Just don't lose the game.
Right. If he limits if we win the turnover battle, that's it for me. If we win the turnover battle, we win this game easily. And he's not a bad quarterback. First of all, we might not even have him next year because this is last year on the contract. He still believes he's a starting quarterback. And let's face it, let's look around this league. He's better than, so he is a starting quarterback, because there's some starting quarterbacks out there that stink. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he's going to go on. He's going to look for a starting position, and he just well may find one, right? I mean, Tannehill, he's better than Tannehill, right? Tannehill sucks, right?
Yeah,
So
Tannehill.
we got some starting quarterbacks around this league that are starters that are worse than our backup. So now that him armed with the weapons that he has, he's going to be able to take advantage of that. I mean, come on. He's not a bad quarterback, and he's got A.J. Brown, and he's got Devontae Smith, and he's got Dallas Goedert, and he's got Miles Sanders, and he's got the best offensive line in football. Come on, man. We're going to win this game. We're going to win this game.
I think they want to make a statement out there. I think the statement is going to say, you know what, Jalen is the system, but with this team, regardless of who you put back here, we will fight for that individual. And I think they're going to make things happen this Saturday. And I can't wait, Dark Knight. I cannot wait.
No, I cannot either. Let me go to some comments here. I'll give my people on YouTube some love. Make sure if you guys are not subscribed to Eagles Talk, and you know I've been preaching this all season. We're trying to build up that following over there. So people been coming out like, "Yo, how you find Eagles Talk on there?" This is how we're starting from the bottom. We might where the song at? Starting from the bottom now. We're starting from the bottom, meaning when you type in Eagles Talk, you don't even see us in the list. Like, this is how far down we're starting, right? So but I did post a link to the YouTube channel on our Facebook group page and our Facebook page. But if you just type in our what's that? If you type in at Eagles Talk, we come right up. At Eagles Talk. Don't just search for Eagles Talk, but if you put it at Eagles Talk, we come right up. But anyway, Pamela Jones says Eagles are an awesome team, not one person, but a great team, and they will destroy the Cow Terriers. I like to hear that talk. The X factor, the game plan, defense takes care of business, and we pound them on the ground with the three-headed monsters. I'm in agreement. That will be a formula that could win, but I see us putting it in the air. I see us putting it in the air. Gardner Minshew is capable of throwing, like, I don't know how many deep passes. I don't know how well he throws the deep pass, but all the timing routes and the crossing routes, he's good on those. He can hit those, and I'm confident in our offensive brain trust that they're going to mold this just like they mold the offense to take advantage of what Jalen Hurts does best. I think they're going to change the game plan up, and it's going to be a system or a scheme that's going to be perfect for Gardner Minshew to be successful. Again, the reminder is, look how many weapons he has at his disposal. I mean, you got to suck not to be able to look good with these pieces that surrounded them. You know what I'm saying? You got to actually suck. And I'm not afraid of the defense. At one time, I thought Dallas's defense was kind of stout. But in these last few weeks, man, they are very vulnerable. I mean, they gave up 40 points to the Jaguars and lost the game. They gave up 23 points to Houston at home. Houston, of all people. You gave up 23 points to Houston at your spot? Like, nah, that defense doesn't scare me as much as it once did earlier in the season. Richard Booth says the team is going to play hard to win the game for Jalen and Minshew, too. Don't get it twisted. Drexel Davis says there must be a football god that wants the Cowboys to succeed. Yeah, don't you think? So I was on here yesterday for the lunchtime, and I said that, and it may have a little truth to it, but I said, could it be that the Eagles, with this tease of Jalen Hurts playing on Saturday before they actually shut it down today when they announced Gardner Minshew to be a starter, but prior to that, when there was a chance that, or there was thought to be a chance that Jalen Hurts plays, could that have been a scheme of the Eagles to kind of keep gamemanship, keep the Dallas Cowboys guessing and not able to had to prepare for two quarterbacks instead of just preparing for Jalen Hurts. They didn't know who was starting until today. But and I'm with that too, man. And if that's the case, brilliant, Sirianni. You're my man. You're my man.
You know what? It is, because if you look at it for face value, they have a whole season of game tape on Gardner Minshew, but they don't have a whole season of game tape with him in this offense. So when you say let's prepare for Jalen Hurts to play this game, because I'm gonna be honest with you, a sprained shoulder, if you played any other position, he'd be on that field.
Yeah. Oh
He'd
no.
definitely be on that field. If you have people out there playing with dislocated shoulders, you'll be on that field. But at quarterback, you need to be 100% healthy, and we need him to be 100% healthy, and don't risk it. But I think we're gonna see some things, a different type of offense, a different scheme for this game than we have seen normally with Jalen Hurts, and it's going to take them by surprise initially.
Yeah, I think so too. I can't wait. I'm just hyped because, come on now. I mean, it's the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm not even worried.
I got you, Dark Knight. I got
you. All right, this is a perfect segue to give props to a former Eagles. You know, I love this guy, and I love him more since he's been on TV because, you know, we rarely have that that former player in the media that goes hard for us. Like you see other teams, you see other former players from teams, and they go hard for their squad. Michael Irvin comes to mind, right? They go hard for their former squads. Well, we finally have one of our own, and he goes hard. And you know I'm talking about one Shady McCoy
Yes,
on the program Speak. And if you've been under a rock lately, he gave it to Dak yesterday on the show. He literally came out and said, Dak is ass. That was his. He said, Dak is ass. He said, let's just put it out there. Can I say that on TV? He said, Dak is ass. Yo,
he said that. He asked afterwards.
Yes,
I said on TV.
He said, can I say that on TV? So shouts out to my man Shady for holding it down for all us Bird gang everywhere. I mean, he's arguing and debating these people every week on here that don't give us our full props and doesn't give our quarterback their full props. So shout out to Shady, man. I'm with him on everything he says about us. I ride with him hard, and I'm especially with him on that statement there because that was, if he's not beloved in the city before, he should be beloved now. He was
right though.
He said
Dark Knight. Let's think about it. Let's really think about it. Let's think about what he has done since he's been a Dallas Cowgirl. Right? He has taken Tony Romo's job, who sucked too. All right. He was won one playoff game and lost 4.
Right. Yeah.
How do you go on a show and say I trust Dak Prescott more than Jalen Hurts when this guy has literally lost playoff games? Like
in 7 years. He's been in the league 7 years.
Not just the team lost it. Like last year, the idiotic sleep play.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing?
He didn't even know the time, man. So yeah, I'm not afraid of it. 7 years, he's won one playoff game. One. That's it. I mean, come on, man. Jalen's about to pass that this playoffs alone. Playoffs alone, he's going to pass that. All right. Let me see what people are saying out there. Rocky says, Minshew Mania. Let's get it. Yeah, we got can I get one of those Beetle wigs or whatever and dress up like Minshew on Saturday? I don't know. I am Smokey Joe says Dak is the new Romo. Yeah. I mean, but I'm not even worried about their past history. I'm just worried about what happens on Saturday. It should be a great segue into our Christmas by getting this victory Christmas Eve in the evening. I thought we was going to be the night game. I'm kind of surprised we're on at 4:00. All right.
That's all right.
Sissy too. What's up, Sissy? You've been going a while. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. We got this game. Dallas better pack a lunch. I hear you. Tony Byrne, our resident from down under, says sounds like Hurts was close, wanting to play this week. If we don't get the job done versus Cowgirls, I reckon throw Hurts and the kitchen sink against the Saints, wrap up the number 1 seed, and rest everyone versus the Giants. Maybe that will be a game plan, but I don't think we see Jalen before the playoffs. Really, I don't, because if we can't win one out of these 3 with Minshew, then we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like if we can't, even by some miracle we don't win on Saturday, if we can't beat the Saints and or the Giants, one of them with Gardner Minshew, then we got some issues going on.
Well, you got to understand something about those particular games, right? The Saints, really, their season is over, right? So they may
Right.
be out there just fighting for us not to get a high draft pick. The Giants may be fighting for a playoff position. So, this
They
game
got
is
something to play for.
they definitely got something to play for. So this game is early kind of important for us, so we don't put ourselves in those situations where we have to win against the Saints. We have to win against the Giants. I mean, I love to have a fine-tuned game to make sure our offense is on the same level. Just to make sure they're on that playing level. Because once you get that number one overall seed, we got a week and a half off.
Yeah.
And you're sitting on your hands. So, a lot of times those wild card teams are coming in hot. So I would love to see our team do a fine tune up with these two games after this cowgirl game, then rest everybody else and get ready for the playoffs,
Yeah, incredible. Did you guys let's end the quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, you're watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around us by Eagles fans. For Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. And we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I'm off the wagon. I realized that I'm not going to start again till the New Year's. It's just holiday season. I got parties to go through and stuff. I'm like, I'm off the way. I fell off on Saturday. I might as well stay off until the holiday season is over. So, but I don't have anything to drink. So I don't have anything to do a shot with. So I'm going to still drink the water here. But everybody out there,
I need you that Grey Goose on Saturday, man.
Oh, Grey Goose.
I need you to get that. You know that.
I'll be on location on Saturday too.
Okay.
So as a matter of fact, I gotta go down there and scout the place out, make sure I got a good place to set up. But all right. So anyway, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Pat is doing just a no-brainer what he's doing. He's been doing it the whole year. Jameson Irish whiskey. I'm just doing the water right now. And you guys let me know what you're doing. I see somebody doing tequila. All right, so here we go to our Philadelphia Eagles, 13-1, down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
Okay. Hey, sissy, you had surgery. You all right? You're back? She said, I had surgery again. I'm back, baby. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you're doing fine. And pray for you to your continued health. All right. Tequila is what Wilbert's doing. Dion, what's up? Dion, what's up, fam? Just hopped off a plane, still at airport, tuned into you fine people. Oh, that's what's up. Are you just coming back from London, Dion? Let me know. And yeah, I did see that picture. That was the same exact place. What platform did you put that on? Facebook? You put that in the group chat, I think, somewhere. But yeah, that was the same exact Passy Avenue Eagles bar in London that I had attended when I was in London a month or so ago. So yeah, that little walk or that street leading up to that place is incredible with all the graffiti and all that around there. Yeah, that was the same exact place, and I recognized it from that street, and I was like, oh yeah, that's it. Because I was afraid. We went at nighttime. I was like, yo, and there was nobody standing outside. So it was like, yo, should we be walking down here?
Yeah, a little sketchy.
I don't want to get snatched all the way in London. All right.
I got to do a taking John, huh?
Yeah. Christopher's doing the water. Palatero is in the house. What's up? What's up? You haven't been here for a while. What's going on? Mustache Mania. You right. D.I. said I'm doing a damn Long Island like a real drunk. That's what I just got finished having the Long Island not too long. All right.
That's how you go off the wagon like that?
No, I was at it wasn't shot time. This was, it wasn't that type of a party. Albert is doing the Black Label. Okay, let's talk about our how about the Pro Bowlers?
Yeah.
We talk about the Pro Bowlers?
We have a grand total of 17. 17 selected. I say 18, 17, right?
Yeah, 17.
17 with 8 selected, 9 alternative. Like the whole offensive line is going one way or another.
Yeah, yep. Even if 3 of them are named to the starters, and the others are named to the reserves or
Yeah,
alternates. So yeah, we got our team is well represented. Well represented. I
we
think we
just
did get snubbed in a couple positions. I
we
know
definitely
everybody
did.
can't make it, but
We definitely did.
Hargrave is having an outstanding year, man. I'm kind of shocked that he didn't make it, man.
Bradbury.
Bradbury, another one. Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't. Those two, I think they got snubbed. CJ,
Mhm.
DJ. Well, I understand he couldn't be on the ballot because he was injured. Two
Yeah.
people couldn't be on the ballot. 2 people didn't make it, like Dallas Goedert would have
Mhm.
probably made it had he not been on injury reserve when they had the ballots out. And CJ GJ would have probably made it also had he not been
Yeah.
injured also, because I think it's stupid that they do this too, because these were injuries that weren't season ending injuries. So I think they should have still been on the ballot. But they weren't on the ballot. So I think that's the only reason why they didn't make it. But Hargrave was on the ballot the whole time, and he's been having his best year of his career. And I
Yes.
thought that was the biggest snub out of all of them. Let me see. Blue Label. Oh, all right. Okay, you fancy. All right, you don't do shots of that.
You said
You
that.
you sip. That's a sip. Don't do shots of that. Palatero says CJ as his snub. Oh yeah, TJ Edwards.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, TJ.
there's a loaded thing of linebackers that got the quality over TJ Edwards, but he should have been up there too as an alternative, at least.
Yeah,
Brandon Graham. We're literally about to have four defensive linemen with double-digit sacks.
yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible. I think this is what's our I don't know, we're going to set a league record, but we may be setting a franchise record on sacks. I wonder how many sacks the franchise record is, because we got 55, and that's a hell of a turnaround, man. From we were like in the bottom of the league last year, and now we're at the top, the tippy top of the league this year. That's got to be like one of the biggest turnovers from one year to the next in football history. And again, I think if I'm not mistaken, I might have peeped somewhere in an article where we might be 63 sacks. Jeremiah, who's 63 sacks is what, the franchise record or the league record?
Franchise
All right,
record, I
Dwight Brown
believe.
says 6-1. All right, we're going to look it up, but you can let me know in the chat. 63, is that the franchise record or the league record? Because if either one is attainable, I mean, we only 8 away, and we got 3 games to go. Oh, that was the franchise. So that's the franchise record. So yeah, we need 9 sacks in these last 3 games, to beat the franchise record, and that's a reachable goal. Palatero says, "Fella, I really don't care for Pro Bowl. I care more about the Super Bowl." I do too, and
That's true.
and the hope is that none of them plays. You know what I'm saying? It's a great honor to have. I know that they are proud to have that honor, but they probably think just like you. They we hope none of them plays in that game. Because we are worried about the Super Bowl, so we want to see all of them first team Super Bowl players. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to see. We want to see them, and no alternates. We want to see all of them as first team or starters in the Super Bowl, not starters in the Pro Bowl. Gary says Pro Bowl comes from their hard work, but that is it. Yeah, I mean, it's still an honor to a certain degree to be named, but it seems like some of the glow, because the game itself is just it's a wreck. I mean, I'm glad they went to this format, because that's all they were playing anyway, flag football. So, you know what I mean? So to make it an official flag football game is probably the best thing they could do, because calling what they were doing in the Pro Bowl these past 10 years was a disgrace.
I'm just happy they're getting back into the activities, because you remember we used to have the
Right.
deepest throw, the most accurate. Well, yeah, quarterback competition. That was fun. Back in the day, they had an actual race. I saw Herschel Walker versus Darrell Green in the race. Like, that was what the weekend was all about. I mean, they did play the game at that time, but we was more interested in those actual activities. Now you can see who's the fastest guy, who has the deepest arm, who has the most accuracy out of all these quarterbacks, and it makes it more fun for the guys and for the fans. So I'm looking forward to that. But
Yeah.
I do got your numbers for you, Dark Knight.
All right, what is it?
So the record for the most sacks in a season for a team is 72. For the Philadelphia Eagles, we're at 62.
We're at 62 now?
No,
that's our franchise record.
Our franchise record is 62. Set in
Okay.
1989. What's that? 89? Jeez.
That was the Reggie Whitenham era.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary, thank you. We appreciate it. Gary said you guys are also all pro in our eyes. We appreciate that, man. We love doing this, and we do it together. That's our tagline, and I made it up, purposely. This is Eagles Talk by Eagles fans, us for Eagles fans, and that's why we include you guys in the conversation. We just don't sit here and talk at you. We like to include you guys in the conversation. Shoot, you guys give us conversational topics a lot of times when I'm looking in this chat room, like, I never thought of that. All right, so
I do got to say this though. I want to make one big shout out to Joy Tiller. She's one of the female hosts on that actual show, Speak, and she basically said, "I want you guys to have the same energy when it comes to another quarterback in this system that he's in." And he's saying, he shouldn't get the MVP because any other quarterback that is having a good team around them, they want to put him at the top of the MVP platform and say it's not the system, it's the quarterback. Well, it has to be the whole team, right? Dark Knight, when was the last time the MVP was given to a quarterback that didn't have at least a decent wide receiver, a decent running back, or a tight end?
Yeah, when was it given to
outstanding tight end?
When was it given to a quarterback that wasn't on a good team? What quarterback won MVP and he wasn't on a good team? So yeah, that is very bogus. And well, now everybody has their wish. Everybody that was Jalen haters has their wish. He's not going to win the MVP because he's not going to play these last few games. So all right, everybody should be happy, but you better be scared because now he has a chip on his shoulder and he's going into the playoffs. And there's only one goal he's worried about when he gets back on the field, and that's bringing it all home. And we're rooting for him. We know how much fun it was winning our first one. We want more of that. I know as fans, I'm hungry for another celebration like we had in 2018.
That was awesome.
Memorable year. I know no one ever forgets that time. As a matter of fact, they were counting down the best plays in the Super Bowl last night, and what was on there. Yeah. And I was getting a little misty eye, like, yeah, that was so beautiful, man. That was so beautiful. That play alone was like, yo, we was losing it. Like, what? Right before the half on fourth down? Oh, he out Belichick, yo. They had no idea.
That's a true championship team. And I look at this team and I look at the talent, and I look at the intangibles they bring, especially when Jalen's in the game. It's basically second to none. You always get the feeling that this offense can put up points. You get the feeling that if this defense plays a little bit more aggressive, nobody can do anything against them. That's why they got the best defensive backs in the league, because of our front four. Our front four gets pressure on them, and by the time the quarterback is looking for to dump off a short pass, it's always going to be a short pass because they're not getting nothing deep. We talking about Jonathan Gannon for how much he doesn't blitz, but his philosophy is working, Dark Knight.
Yeah, it is working, and what's making it successful is the talented defensive line we have. Thank you, Howie. But that's really making it work. I mean, what's the most ideal situation, right, to a defensive coordinator? You can get pressure on the quarterback and not have to send extra people. I mean, that's the best case scenario for any defensive coordinator, and he has that luxury of not having to blitz as much. And we lead in the league in sacks. So those front four or five at times, that go after the quarterback are bringing the quarterback down. They're getting pressure on the quarterback, and we're allowed to keep more people in coverage, and that's helping out the secondary. You know, we always talk about the secondary and the pass rush being married. Well, you know, when you got a front four that's getting pressure, and you don't have to blitz as much, and you allow the secondary, and we have a good secondary. I mean, that defensive line is not really covering them up. They're both that good. They're both on the elite level. The defense, the pass rush is on the elite level. Reddick, Sweat could have got a nod too. Sweat is having a hell of a year too.
Yeah.
Sweat, Reddick, Hargrave. You know, everybody.
Hargrave definitely should have got it. He's
Yeah.
way better than the other guys. But you know what? Forget the Pro Bowl. You know, our mindset is on the ultimate goal. You know, our mindset is on that ultimate goal.
No, Hargrave is not. This is last year on the contract. So, all right, Palatero asked a question too. Fellas, question: who are the Eagles going to re-sign or extension? Bradbury, Miles, TJ. Who is how? Well, look, we have 14 free agents, and there's a lot of names on that list that you know, it's going to be a tough decision on who to throw the money at. You know, the best case scenario, we bring back as many of those free agents as we possibly can, but the reality of it is there are probably going to be some casualties in there that we're not bringing back. So let me ask you guys. I'll ask you. So out of the 14, you just named what? Bradbury 1, Miles 2, TJ 3. That's 3. Who else? We said Bradbury. Who else I think? Hargrave, he's going to be a free agent.
Kazir White. CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, CJ Gardner-Johnson. So out of the ones that we just named, and any others that you may think of right now, because I don't have a list in front of me, who do you think the top priorities should be? Give me the top 3 priorities. If you could have any one of them back, you'd be like, oh, we got to have him back. You know, regardless of the cost, we got to have him back.
Listen, I like
top 3.
I like Blankenship. He gives you that ability to put somebody back there that makes tackle, but CJ brings a whole different aspect to that defensive backfield. And you know, you could have him in there on different situations and you can team him up. So I think CJ, since I'm a defensive back, I'm going to say CJ, Bradbury. I want to say Hargrave, but he's going to be 30. I got to say TJ Edwards. TJ Edwards has been balling. So I had to go defense with this. You know, Jason may say, you know what, just give me $1 million to come back. But as a veteran, you got to at least pay him $4.5 million. BG and Fletch, they're pretty much done this year. $14 million for Fletch, and I think $7 million for BG. They're pretty much done this year. Hargrave. Man, Hargrave's production has been on point, except for like 3 games since he came here. Like he has lived up to the billing of what we paid him to come here as a free agent. So it'll be tough. The good thing about Miles, I forgot about Miles. Oh my goodness, Miles has an outstanding year. He gives you that opportunity as a back that can be explosive. All you need is a power back with him. You know, lightning the thunder all over again. The cap is going up next season, but it's difficult. I'm happy I'm not in that position.
All right, let me see what they're saying out there. All right, Noble says Hargrave. Ooh, I ain't see that. You lucky I put you on there. All right, I'm gonna go with D9 on this one.
That's my boy.
I'm gonna go with D9 love on that one, but that picture right there,
what up, Joe?
Got under my skin a little bit.
That's
all right,
boy,
you know, Noops in the house. All right, he says Hargrave. John Petit says Bradbury, CJ, and TJ. All right, that's his top priority. I'm Bradbury and CJ definitely. I don't think TJ is going to be a problem to bring back.
Nah.
Kazir White might be a problem because we have a young boy that's waiting in the wings that is ready to go. So, you know, he may be a casualty. He may. I like him. Don't get me wrong. He flies around and he's a hell of a cover linebacker, you know, which is good for this today's offenses, having to cover tight ends and the such. I like his skill set, but we do have a young linebacker that's hungry and ready to come in, and he's going to be a little cheaper. So
Oh crap! I forget Isaac Salamalu too.
yeah, he gonna bring back. He gonna be back too. But TJ, I think TJ is affordable, so I think he's not a problem. But Bradbury, CJ Gardner, they're going to cost a little bit of money, and Hargrave they're probably going to be like the highest paid out of those free agents that I can think of right now. Bradbury, CJ, and Hargrave. You talking about? And they, and Bradbury and CJ they were only available to us because they couldn't get the bag from the teams that they left.
Yeah.
So they're going to be looking for the bag after this season, after they've had such a great season. Both of them had great seasons this year. So they're probably going to be looking for the bag. I don't know if they give us a hometown discount. If they win the Super Bowl, it could work for us and against us. Because, once you win the Super Bowl, you're like, yo, I'm going to get my money. I got the championship. Or maybe they'd be like, yo, I like it here. We just won. We can continue to win. I hope that's their approach, but we just don't know. Whatever. John Batiste says we got to keep Fletch, or heck no, we don't have to keep Fletch. Well, Fletch is not bad in this situation because there's so much. The defensive line is so talented. They're taking up, remember when he used to get all that attention? Well, they're getting the attention and it's leaving him one-on-one, and he still has enough in the tank to beat some one-on-ones occasionally. So yeah, he's not as bad as he was last year, but last year we were looking for him. He was more featured, but now he has running mates now. But I don't think it's a problem. I think we can afford Fletch if he takes it, because he's not worth $14 million. He can forget that. He's not even worth half of that right now.
He's not getting that. He cashed out right now. He said, you know what, this may be my last year. Let me cash out as much as possible. But Bradbury he's going to command upward of $7 to $10 million a year.
7 to 10, yeah,
a
that's
year.
what he's getting
At 30.
Yeah. Well,
so
I mean,
he's
come on, like he for real, he could have been on. He could have easily been on there. I mean, him and Slay's statistics are very, very close, and I think Slay might have got the nod.
No, actually, Bradbury's as far as statistical wise, Bradbury hasn't given up a touchdown.
Yeah, so I think that the only reason why Slay got the nod is because of his reputation, his name. I think his name gave him the nod over Bradbury more than his play, because, like you said, if you look at them statistically, they're very, very close, and Bradbury might be better in some statistical categories than he is. All right, Joseph Fleming. I can't put your comment on the screen. It's just too long. It'll take up. We won't see us anymore. So I'll just read it off screen. Oh, wow. And Joseph says, this draws the team closer together. Every man is needed to play their role, including the practice squad players. Brotherly love and action. In retrospect, Jalen won't respond in the same manner as Carson. Nick Sirianni preaches that togetherness is the key to a great team. This is great communication to motivate the players and will increase trust in each other when it's needed down the stretch. Nick's ability to communicate is A+. I remember when everyone clowned him for talking about the growth in flowers. Yeah, and I was one of them. Yeah, so yeah, he has come a long way, and I do agree 100% with that entire statement. We have the chemistry on this team, the brotherhood atmosphere that's on this team is very, very reminiscent to 2017, and I think it may even be. I might even get the nod to this team. But every Super Bowl team, that's one thing they have in common. They play for each other. Every team, and when you go over the vintage tapes or whatever, and they interview them, they always had a close bond and stuff like that. And this team has that chemistry and that close bond. The one thing I'm gonna miss, hopefully we win the Super Bowl this year, but we're gonna lose some. Not only we're gonna have to say goodbye to some players because we can't sign them all, but we're definitely going to be losing some coaching staff also, and that's regardless of if we win or not. They're coming for the coordinators. They're coming for the coordinators.
I gotta throw you a scenario. What happens if everybody sits in that room after the due date and we do accomplish the deed? You say, you know what? We have opportunity together to build a dynasty. to not only get. I know we want to get paid as much money as possible, but together we can accomplish way more than we can apart.
Yeah, that's
That's not gonna
that's a
happen.
dream. Yeah, that's a dream.
I'm
you
just saying. I mean,
you
listen,
you drinking
team
too much
over.
of that, John. All right, that's enough for you. No
All
more
right, let me
shots.
end the quarter so I can take my shot now. How about
All
that?
right, all right.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All
I had
right,
to
so
throw it
that's
out
the
there,
end of
man.
the quarter, man. You are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around that's by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I don't have one, but Pat is doing the Jameson Irish whiskey, and I'm sipping on coffee. Let me know what you're doing out there. But let's salute our Philadelphia Eagles. Going into this game against the Dallas Cowboys. So, to our Philadelphia Eagles, down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right, so my man on YouTube, thank you for the support. Sorry you're late. You go to the back of the room. You got 2 shots. You got to catch up. All right, you got to catch up. Go to the back of the room. Stay in the corner. That's your punishment for being late. All right, Richard Booth says his 3 are Reddick, CJ Bradbury, and White. Ooh, John Batiste are naming those young linebackers that we have waiting in the wings in case we have to let someone like a Kazir White walk or whatever. We do have some young linebackers, and that's a shock. And credit to Howie, because how long have we not prioritized linebackers, and now we got a slew of them. We even have some waiting in the wings to take people's spots. Nakobe Dean came in that one day and he balled. So we know he's just it's a matter of time. If somebody got to go, he's sliding right in that spot. What about Kelsey? Yeah, Kelsey. Somebody brought that up
Kelsey
yesterday.
gets whatever you want. Listen, Kelsey wants
Yeah,
to say,
but
I want to
Kelsey
come
might
back.
leave too.
Kelsey say, I want to come back. He already said on it. I hate to put his podcast out there, but his podcast with his brother, he said, I don't want to go anywhere else. He said it.
Yeah, I mean, but he might go home. He might not want to go anywhere else, but he's because he's been contemplating the last few off seasons we've always talked about is Kelsey coming back. Well, we accomplished the task this year. What better way to ride off into the sunset than your 6th Pro Bowl year and a championship ring, man. That I hate to see him go, man. He's an all-time great, man. He's definitely a Hall of Famer and an all-time Eagles great.
I gotta do one thing though. One thing we failed to mention. It's because of the review and the talk of the quarterback situation, but the review of the Bears and how we underestimated how good their defense was, really. And I think going into this game against Dallas, we can't underestimate how good they are on the offensive side of the ball, like we did against the Chicago Bears in their defense. You know how you say you didn't know a single player on the Chicago Bears, but after the game, you know them now. Listen, with these Cowgirls, listen, they do got some talented players, and we have to buckle down and stay alert, stay aware. Tony Pollard is one of the best screen receive running backs in the league. He's about to eclipse 1,000 yards. Let's bottle him up like we did the first matchup. Him in, I'd rather Ezekiel get the touches than Tony Pollard, because Pollard breaks off an 80-yard run at any given time.
Yeah, any given time. He's like our Miles Sanders. You know what I mean? They're kind of very similar, man. At any time they have breakaway ability. They have, game-changing ability. If they hit that hole, they can be going on any given play. So, yeah, I agree with that. But I like what we have done against top running backs that we faced this year. We have in most of the matchups, and most of the matchups. I can't say all of them because the young boy for Houston, he got us, and I was like, damn, he got us. But we were a little banged up
too on a fantasy.
Yeah, we were a little banged up when we faced him. I think that was one of the first or second game that Jordan Davis wasn't there. That was before we got the 2 big tackles as reinforcements. So we've shored that up. But you're right. We can't sleep on them. We got to still go out. We can't, we can't stop them by osmosis. We got to go out
No.
there and lay hands on their
You
ass.
definitely gotta lay
yeah,
hands on the ass. And the
yeah,
thing about that, I think that was a good thing that happened to us for two things this season that happened to us to make us a more solid team. Us losing to the Washington, I hate to say losing, but that made Howie realize that what, we cannot go into this season, we can't continue this season, without defensive line help, and especially against Houston Texans. When they put up the 100 yards, he said, this stops now, and he got those two big guys in the middle with Joseph and Sue. So that made our defensive rotation even more deadlier. They were talking about last week how we going to a 5-man front at any given time because everybody can cover.
yeah. That's the thing, man. And then I think it gives quarterbacks fits when we're able to put that pressure on the quarterback with just a 4-man or maybe 5-man rush and everybody's in coverage. Because like, where's the holes? Where are you going to find an opening to pass the ball when you're getting pressured and everybody's covered? You know what I'm saying? We got everybody accounted for that's running out into a pass route. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to JG. I know we get on him sometimes for being too passive, but the proof is in the pudding. If you look at the statistics and what we've done this year, he's doing something right. And that team is, and that definitely the players out there on the field are bringing his vision to reality, and it's working. It's working, man. But how about this? The possibility, it's a great possibility that we won't even be here next year. It's a great, I would say it's at 80% that he's not going to be here next year. JG, he's not going to be here.
Yeah. Probably most likely he won't be here, which is fine by me. But I also think, make your staple, make your butts these last couple of games and in the postseason. Make them take you, right?
Yeah.
Make them take you by coming out with this outstanding defensive effort that you're about to put forth in the next 5-6 games that we need to win straight, right? Make these other organizations say, what, we need him.
Yeah,
because if we do that means we're going to be a success moving forward on our defensive side of the ball.
All right, here you go. Isaac says drafting is the big thing because this Saints pick can give us 2 first rounds for the next 2 drafts, if not more. I like TJ, but Dean is waiting for his shot. Drafting is key. I don't know if I like Dean to take TJ's spot.
No, I like TJ. TJ is a tackling machine.
Yeah, I like him in the middle. But
Kaiser
Kaiser, I think he could take his spot.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be too disappointed. But the key is drafts right here. What he's talking about, the drafts, because that is the way we're going to remain competitive with all this all the free agency that we have on this team. Not to mention the biggest, elephant in the room, and that's when we have to open up the pocketbook and pay Jalen Hurts. The only way we survive paying our quarterback as much as we're going to have to give him is that we have some cheap labor. And cheap labor are draft picks, basically. They're the young people. They're the ones that's still playing on rookie contracts. So it's imperative that, and Howie's done a good job the past couple of years. So he needs to continue to do equally great job in these upcoming drafts, because that's how we keep the talent level high, is by hitting on a higher percentage of the draft picks than we miss on. And he's been hitting on a good amount these past 2 years. He's had a great draft the past 2 years, and he needs to continue that, because once we open the pocketbook for Jalen, it's going to be hard to bring in, it's going to be hard to bring in high price free agents.
What happened with Jalen say, what, you don't have to pay me $40 million a year. Just give me a reasonable $20-25 million salary and do what you need to do to make sure this team stays competitive.
That's kind of Tom Brady-ish, and it's not impossible because we've seen Tom Brady do it. But
if you realize something, right? Most of the time, after these quarterbacks get these bags, the team goes downhill
because they can't hire, they can't sign anybody.
Cincinnati, they talk about how good Cincinnati is. They put Cincinnati above us, right? They're gonna lose some players because they got to play Joe Burrow.
Yeah. That's the dilemma that every great team faces. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is the poster child for that, because he's never given a hometown discount,
And that's why they can't get
and
receivers.
that's why he can't get receivers out there. That's why his man left. He took that money. If he was thinking, big picture and team, he would have been like, yo, let's work out a deal to be able to re-sign Devontae. He didn't say that. He was like, yo, I want my paper. And Devontae said, I want mine too. I'm out. Like, yo, I'm not, and why would he take a discount? Like, if I'm the receiver and you see your quarterback just gobble up the majority of the salary cap, don't come to me asking me for a discount. He ain't taking a discount. I'm going to get my paper. I'm getting my paper.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think he's under that under the mindset of, the people around us makes this team go, not just me. It's more or less, I am the system, but they help me more. They help me just as much as I help them.
That's a key point right there. I like that, John. I was going to get to that. That's the point I was trying to get to when I said JG is going to be going. So John Batiste says, if we lose Gannon, don't we have Fangio as a team consultant? Yes, we do.
No, we
bring him
Georgia defensive coordinator.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, this guy already has a relationship with us, and he's a more aggressive. And it's kind of it's reminiscent of when Buddy Ryan had the squad, and you know how ferocious that defense was when he was running it. And then he got fired, and Bud Carson took over. It got even better. And that was an all-time defense when Buddy was running it, right? You didn't think it could get better, but it got better under Bud Carson, man. So we might be looking at the same thing. This defense is outstanding now. Imagine a different coordinator with a different philosophy, a more aggressive philosophy, takes this same unit. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. So we do have Fangio, and that's why I am kind of rooting for us to do well, because I like that. I like Fangio. I like him. I also like the 49ers defensive coordinator, but his next step is a head coach. Yeah, he got that dog. He got that dog mentality. He got a bunch of dogs to sick on people too.
Yeah, he does. You gotta be careful with that defense over there. I mean, listen, we got the talent to go against that defense and actually strike fear in their hearts. Don't get it twisted. We ain't scared of them, but for who he's playing against and the teams that they're playing against, they should dominate. They really should dominate those teams.
Yeah. You got to come out with them. You got to you can't be scared of them. You just got to swing. You got, you got to be like Buster Douglas, like going against Mike Tyson. Like, yo, I ain't afraid of him.
Listen, Mike Tyson said it too. Back to you just said, Buster Douglas. He said everybody is the S until you get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, everybody. We definitely had to punch that defense in the mouth, because they are ferocious. Our defense and their defense they're number 1 and 2, right? I think they're number 1 and 2.
Number 1 and 2, yep.
Yeah, that'll be a great matchup. But Isaac says, stop the run, go up by 14 or more, and make them abandon the run and make Dak pass more. Yeah, that's definitely the philosophy that we should have going into this game. But I feel like that's the general philosophy we have all year. Like that, I think that's the goal of every game. And
that was the early.
It was really, early in the season, it was really noticeable that that's what we were doing. Like, those second quarters early in the season, we would just explode on the other team, and we were leading the league in second quarter points because we would explode in the second quarter and make the other team play catch up. And that's when they had to be that's when they were one-dimensional. Once you go one-dimensional and have to depend on the pass, our defense is not the one you want to do that against. You don't want to have to put the ball in the air 30 times against this defense.
No, not at all. Because we got the horses in the stable to compete with any receiving core in the NFL. Any receiving core in the NFL. So, then on top of that, we got the horses in the stable on the offense to compete with any defense in the NFL. And now our special teams are doing the doggone thing. Shout out to Boston Scott.
Yes. Shout out to the coaches staff, because, and I might have mentioned this before, but every time there's been an area of weakness they have solved that problem.
Yep.
And I'm talking whether it was a lack of run defense, we solved that. We went out and got the big boys. They have adapted and adjusted and corrected the problem. Our run defense was a little porous at one stretch. They went and solved that. Our special teams were horrible, actually was downright horrible up until that one game. They almost cost us the game against Green Bay. Luckily, Aaron Rodgers went out. They were just setting the table for him, giving all kind of field positions to Green Bay that day. Because outside of the special teams, I don't think they score as much. They were just, you can't give Hall of Fame quarterback Aaron Rodgers a short field, and he was taking advantage of it every time. So what happened? They went out, and since that Green Bay game, they have been balls to the wall. Like they've been all out, yo. So
they have been, man. Listen, you changed it for the better, because if all three facets are working, then 14 points can be the actual the game winner. You talked about Bud Carson, Buddy Ryan. Their defensive philosophy is say you get us 10 to 14 points, we're make sure you win the game.
Yeah, we're gonna make that stand. Yeah, that's what their thing was. Like, yo,
So,
you get two touchdowns and we got it. What?
Listen,
Two? That's it.
Dallas has weapons, but we have everything that could bat against the weapons. They got a good tight end. CeeDee Lamb is a very talented wide receiver. They just picked up T.Y. Hilton. He's getting back into shape. He hasn't played on the football field in some time. They got two good running backs. They got an okay quarterback who everybody would say he's elite. But at the end of the day, we have been playing elite quarterbacks. We played Aaron Rodgers and put him out the game. We played these top-notch running backs, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook. That offense in Minnesota is supposed to be the truth. It's not supposed to be able to stop that offense. And we put 24 points on it, and it felt like we put up 50.
Yes, because they didn't even score 10 points. We didn't even let Minnesota score over 10 points.
It felt like we scored 50 in that game.
Yes.
So
it was a dominating win.
The thing is, I believe we can definitely get up with those points from our special teams, our defense, and here and there over our offense, and still squeak out a win against these Cowgirls. Because you know why, Dark Knight? Because
all right, the best part about this is Dallas has the same problem. Think about it. Diggs and Lamb are up for a contract. After that, Micah and Dak will be up for another contract. Dak already? Dak? He just signed.
They got signed like 2 years ago, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
A year ago.
I think Dak got a little.
But he took all the money from them being able to sign these other players, because Micah, he's definitely he's $100 million player.
Well, I think if we're going to talk about the Cowgirls, I don't know if Zeke comes back for that price tag he's on now, because he's definitely not the same running back going into the contract, now. But he's not the same running back now as he was signing that contract. So he may be a cap casualty next year, because they gotta, it's a no-brainer that Pollard is the feature back and he's the future back for that team.
They're not gonna pay him. They can't afford to pay Pollard, because the Zeke contract is for another 3 years, I think it is.
Yeah, but it ain't guaranteed.
A big portion of it is. I think their cap hit, if they release him, is somewhere in the range of $15 to $20 million.
Oh well, then
they were saying when they gave him that contract, that was the dumbest contract in football history, because you don't pay a running back that amount of money. And right when he got that contract, his play went boop.
Yeah, they were. Zeke was. He was getting the ball a lot early on, yo, and that's your body as a running back, man. Your body gets punch drunk after a while, yo. It takes its toll, except for Derrick Henry. I don't know what kind of person he is. He's just a different beast, man. This dude. I'm every year I'm looking for him to fall off a little bit, because what he reminds me, and it's funny because he plays with the same team. Reminds me a little bit of Eddie George, right? So Eddie George was he was a big kind of back, bruising back and all that. And then, but when that punch drunk hits your body, you fall right off the cliff. It ain't even a gradual decline. It's like boom. So I'm every year I'm waiting for Derrick Henry to do that, but he seems to get better. But we get ready. We about to close this up. It's been an hour and 8 minutes.
Yeah,
I might
wanna
see you
J-Lo
guys
see it.
next. I might see you guys tomorrow. Nah, maybe not. I got last minute shopping to do. I'm about to say I might do another lunchtime with Dark Knight, but I got last minute shopping to do. So next time we talk to you guys will be on Saturday, Christmas Eve, an hour before kickoff. So around 3:00 on Christmas Eve, you guys make sure you tune in right here for the best pregame show around, Eagles Talk. And we will see you guys then. Until then, you guys be safe. Get your Christmas shopping done. And be
Cheers.
safe out there. I'll see you guys later. Peace.